Hey, Brad Kearns here at my stand-up desk. Isn't that fantastic? Yes, it is a wonderful step in the direction of better cellular health, better cognitive function. It's so popular. You can buy the hydraulic ones, just like this one. Not really, but this works great. But it's not as simple as just switching from a sitting position to a stand-up desk. My good friend Katie Bowman, the one and only, the author of Move Your DNA, makes the important point that the primary objective of your workplace experience is to have variation in your positioning. So we want to avoid prolonged periods of stillness, of being in the same position. And she makes the important point that even standing up and being in the standing position all day is probably no better than sitting, because your cells, your posture, everything's frozen in one spot. Humans are meant to move around and be active throughout the day. So you get permission to switch back and forth from standing up to sitting down and being fidgety and changing your workplace position throughout the day. Those are all positives. I was so happy to hear that right from the mouth of Katie, because I tend to move around, and when I'm doing different things, like if I'm writing, I have to be in a certain position. I can't stand up when I'm actually writing a book, but of course working through the emails, doing other things, happy to stand up. Another great one is the down on the ground. You might have seen Mark Sisson archetypal rest postures. So in my case, my little setup here, all I do is grab the stool and hit the deck and put some time in here on the ground. Remember, one of the rest postures was one leg extended, one leg bent. So many different variations of this. You can be really OG and hold the squat position like Dr. Kelly Starrett for as long as you want, but then probably gonna get tired of that. Go back up to your standing situation or even your sitting. But the overriding goal is to avoid those prolonged periods of stillness, even if you're in ideal ergonomic position. Guess what's still going to happen? It's a process known as mechanotransduction, where your cells respond to stimulus from the outside environment and react accordingly to the extent that they can get misshapen and dysfunctional. Even because you're sitting in perfect ergonomic position, you still have a bend here where these cells, if they were healthy, would be moving and changing throughout the day. But when you're in these fixed positions, you can actually become unhealthy at the cellular level in certain areas where we tend to mess up, such as our lower back, when we kind of crunch and hunch all day, our upper neck. The effects of mechanotransduction are evident when you see the hunched over body position where the spine is actually curved because the muscles have pulled it out of alignment over years and decades. So moving around, keeping things variable. So got that point across, very most important thing. And now let's get to some fun stuff that we can do when you're taking advantage of that stand-up position. I like to throw in some balance moves and some flexibility moves to get sort of a workout effect and also more movement instead of just standing all day. So the first simplest thing you can do is try to balance on one leg and continue going about your important emails or reviewing videos or whatever you're doing. So balancing on one leg and then taking it to the next level. And by the way, these are all described in the book Keto for Life. I call it the balletic karate kicks. So you're kind of like the ballet dancers when they're warming up, and you kind of kick out, try to get your leg near perpendicular to the ground. This one will really engage the hip flexors to the extent that you'll probably feel a burn right away. And of course you can progress from first holding on to something, and then because I'm trying to get a superior balance effect, I'm gonna let go when I'm good enough. You can see my foot is working hard to balance me, and I'm gonna do a set of karate kicks in this direction. And then of course in the other one, I'm just gonna face the camera, but I could also turn the other way and not be too obnoxious in my office or cubicle. So another one you can add to this is kind of a butterfly kick, where you're bringing your knee, tracking it up along as close to your body as possible, and kind of flaying your legs out like a butterfly. And you can see I've worked hard to do this without holding on to anything, but the first goal is to get that muscular engagement. So if you have to, you can hold on, or hold on with a pinky, right? When you're progressing toward letting go, just use the stabilization as little as possible. Switching legs, going on, maybe letting go, seeing how well you can do. And of course, probably the single most badass workout you can do in a confined space without needing any resources or troubling anybody around you is a set of deep squats. If you can do this several times a day at the workplace, your fitness is going to take off. And also, of course, squats are known as the preeminent anti-aging exercise. So if you can preserve that ability to just lower down and raise up, oh my gosh, it's anti-aging at its best. If you can't do a squat, your probability of falling when you get older rises dramatically. Did you know that falls are the #1 cause of injury and death in Americans over age 65? So we want to preserve that balance from doing this stuff and preserve that strength, that ability to load by going down and being able to do a deep squat. And if you can't get all the way down, ass to grass, as my Olympic runner friend Michael Stember calls it, I'm trying to lower all the way down. This is the best engagement from right here, lowering up. A lot of people in the gym go down to parallel only, but this is where you get the real benefits, getting those glutes involved, and also improving your flexibility in your ankles. So work toward getting all the way down, but do the best you can. It's also a great place to hold a stretch is down here at the bottom, as I talked about briefly before. Trying to straighten my back out. Maybe I can send some text messages from this position and resume. But I set a goal of dropping for 20 every now and then during my busy workday. No big trouble. And guess what? I don't care how fit you are. When you start getting to 14, 15, 16, it's a fantastic workout. You'll be happy to go back and use your brain again on your peak cognitive tasks. Quick primer, as you lower down for the squat, you want your knees to track over the balls of your feet. And you want to make absolutely certain that you don't cave your knees in. So the squat is a sensation of screwing your legs into the ground in this manner. So you can see I'm lowering down, I'm making sure that my knees track right over the balls of my feet, raising up steadily. I'm engaging the core so that I don't put any strain in my lower back by hyperextending it. So it's more stable, down, back up. Can't think of a better way to spend the day in the office. Here's another advanced one to finish this video. I talked about balancing on one leg, and if you're an athlete in an explosive sport, especially such as running, basketball, whatever you want to do, if you can learn to balance on the ball of your foot on one leg, it's incredibly difficult. I thought I was a badass and a high jumper seen on YouTube, but just trying to balance on the ball of my foot is an incredible challenge. So if you're getting good at balancing on one leg, maybe you're getting good at doing the butterflies and the karate kicks, try this while standing at your desk. And if you spend 1 minute on this challenge, fun times, go back to work. But add it up over the course of the workday. If you're complaining about being less productive, missing time with your email inbox while you're fooling around like this, realize that if you sit still for as little as 15 minutes, you will experience a noticeable increase in insulin resistance and a decrease in glucose tolerance. What does that mean? It means you're going to feel tired and drag ass in as short a time as 15 minutes. As soon as you pop up and launch into a set of deep squats, hustle down the hall to get another Post-it notepad, whatever you're doing, you kick right back into fat burning and improved cognitive function, because with that increase in insulin resistance is a decline in cognitive function. You start to get tired, lazy, distracted, hungry. Maybe you're hitting the YouTube button instead of finishing that proposal. So we want to keep moving and active throughout the day. And it doesn't take much. I didn't say take a 20-minute walk around the courtyard. That's what you're supposed to do at lunchtime. But just a couple minutes of those deep squats, balletic karate kicks, balancing on one leg, whatever you got, you're right here, switching positions, that counts as well. So going down to the ground for a little bit, and oh my gosh, much more fun, much more productivity at your workday. Good luck. Try it out yourself, make up some new stuff. Anything goes here. Have fun and a more productive workday.